all day long, and this should at least give teams a little bit more of what they wanted.
Yeah, and I don't see Zoekt Een Naam out so far. They probably opted to go all the way down south towards Paraíso. As I say that, they jump out in the middle of things. That's interesting. Where are you guys headed? Water treatment, maybe? Seems like it could be the go-to for them. They are flying east, that's for sure. So potentially trying to get a spot that previously belonged to someone else. But then again, as I said before, Miramar, huge map, no reason to fight early, and I think they know that other teams still want us. They can push people around a little bit and say this is ours now, and then confuse them when they don't come back to the next game.
It's like peekaboo, we're here now.
Yeah, and all of a sudden they're not. Circle's gonna pop in just about 30 seconds time. In this plane path, of course, you can't really go Campo Militar, you can't really go Valle del Mar, and I would just hate to see that southwestern ending, just because southwestern circle, just because of where teams are lined up right now. I mean, it would be a hard rotation. You have to make it all the way on the edges. So we'll see. We'll see. Also, as well, Futbolist, they have been one of the teams to have those early game fights. Maybe teams have been going on them. Maybe they've been jumping on other teams. Right now, they have some sort of room, but no tag team and powerful. They're split looting all around them.
Ooh, I'll take it.
Back east again.
I'll take it. It's not hard east. It's
no.
a little bit more central. This can work out. This could be better for a lot of the teams here. We didn't get any mad craziness just yet. It's all going to depend on the hard shifts when it comes down on into it.
Only thing with the edges of this circle right now is you saw Saint Martin. From Saint Martin all the way down to, I want to say, Picardo, and even a bit further than that. It's like it's not a no rotation zone, but just with the mountain line that you get here, it's so hard to rotate around that area of the map. So you either want to come in from the north side, maybe go all the way out east, to be honest, or go all the way south around and try and come in from there. The only thing about the southern side is Los Leones. It's such a massive city, and it takes up a ton of space too.
Northern Lights will take control of it straight off the bat. They've got Insidegames, our previous winners, just above them. The Wildcats, we continue to talk about these guys, really are starting to wonder what they can bring to the table now.
Yeah. I mean, that last game was a sneaky peeky one from them, but they did manage to get up into placement points, something we've been missing from them in the most recent games. One thing I'm looking forward to, and I know there's still one more game to go, and we should be focusing on that. I just want to say it there. I'm looking forward to see what these guys are bringing tomorrow, because all of today's games have been kind of blind in the sense that they've never played this lobby on Miramar before. So sometimes you get caught off on rotations where you weren't expecting your opponents. But at least now they have some games to fall back on, and go back and watch the games tonight. Come in tomorrow prepared for Miramar once again. As we said earlier, it's going to be Miramar all week long. So I believe a lot of the teams that have had a harder time today will come out with different approaches to the game tomorrow, and that's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, it's all about that adaptation that you can do going into your future games, and what you can change up and what you can improve within your own game to make it better for you later on.
For sure. Now, Northern Lights and Insidegames, they've been sharing Los Leones pretty calmly so far. They haven't really stepped over one another's toes, but seems like, as we saw there just before, there was indeed a scope headed in the direction of one of the Northern Lights players. And, I mean, actually, I think it's Ostrolovac who is kind of by himself, caught in between some of the Northern Lights players. And it doesn't seem like, to me, that they're really wanting to take an engagement on this so far. We see we need a home getting themselves looted up here as well. And then again, Futbolist, they have a pretty center spot again this time around. And let's see how many confrontations they can take early on. Because surprisingly enough, despite them not getting a lot of kills late game, they've actually been the ones to kind of get out on top in those early game fights today.
Yeah, it was only 15th place on the last game, but before that they had a 3rd place and a 4th place, which was big movements for them, especially now going on to Miramar. So, again, if they can try and work something out on the last game here, and then overall they can be very happy, but Ostrolovac is taking a lot of damage, and your feet are going to be seen under there, matey. Quizzy, no problem getting that one done. Instantly will flush him out, and oh, he's going to fist him. Yep, beat him up, smack him up, put him on the ground.
That's just not going to have happened. But then again, I mean, it's bound to happen eventually when you have two teams trying to share the same city. When you have two teams trying to rotate on through the same area, you're just going to be that much more careful. And unfortunately for Ostrolovac, he wasn't.
And we called it out like from the very beginning how close those two were. And straight away they will meet into this. Now the Wildcats need to be careful making this rotation, because you know, a player like Dupzig from Notag, he will quite happily take these shots. He'll want to get some early damage done and potentially some knocks. And it's already started. There you go.
I was going to say, the thing is for him that he's all alone down there. So maybe he doesn't want to. But then again, you got to scare them off. You got to make sure that they don't come full guys crashing on your compound. Because if they realize you're alone, I don't think, even though we have some passive teams in here, if you were told, like, hey, boys, I promise you, there's only one guy in this compound. I don't think there's any team with 4 guys alive that wouldn't crash it.
No, definitely not.
So you just always gotta keep your wits about you. And you see NNL right now pushing on down here. Give it is on the other side. He's actually doing a lot of damage towards him. Jupsig though, disengaging. I love it. He heard all the vehicles come in. Get away from there. There's no reason to go over aggressive early.
Oh no. Honor, not the timing to do it, matey. Not the timing at all. The Specs spraying on out. Runs out of bullets, we'll have to get the reload in, but did a nice bit of damage to the vehicle.
Simpson, we talked about the Riddle double bolt action lineup. He gets things going his way as well. He's been kind of overshadowed by Clip, just in the sense that Clip has been, at least last week on a Wrangle, hitting everything. Simpson actually landed quite a few shots as well, but I can't really find out what's the. I mean, of course, it's very, very team dependent and super subjective, but you have to play around it, right? You have to. There's got to be a statistically better option than having either 1 or 2 bolt actions. I
guess it could also just be down to the individual comfort of the players with it, because they're probably still very good with the DMRs regardless, right? But if he's feeling, actually, my bolt has been really like on point, so I'm just gonna stick with this because it's just working for me better at the moment. That could just be one of those things as Aros finds himself on the floor, just bleeding out slowly. Riddle aren't going to finish him off just yet. They're going to try and make sure some of the other no-tag players come towards him. O'Connell's too far away, and Rita's doing the damage from the long range. And Rita is always this super scout, a little bit further forward for We Need a Home. Yeah. She just needs to be that little bit more careful for them to go into getting these deeper games.
And that's what's so interesting to me, because Rita is the in-game leader as well on the team, and it's very different from team to team whether they have the in-game leader be the one scouting or the one just getting all the info from the scout and deciding where to go. Because teams have, I mean, if you look at if you look at Zoekt Een Naam as well, oftentimes Ivel has been the one to go down early because he gets caught off on a rotation or something like that. The team can still work. And I talked to Scoom a long while back, play from Reciprocity, and that sometimes he said it sounds weird, but sometimes it's actually okay for the in-game leader to go out early, because you can sit and like swap back between all the different screens and kind of get the info from all the players, whereas before when you were live, you only saw your own monitor.
But also, if you're the more sacrificial role in it, right, you make the decisions quicker being in that. You don't have to wait for information to be fed to you as an in-game leader. You can make all the calls based on what you've seen directly in front of you, having scouted forward.
We saw Avangar taking a bit of a skirmish with some of the powerful players. Powerful, if you guys have probably seen those names before. The guys used to be playing under the name of Besiktas. This time around, though, at least today overall, at least they haven't had the best day overall today. I think it's pretty fair to say.
Snoopy's like, I swear, there was another player around here somewhere. He's like tapping him down, trying to make them like poke out and get some defense onto Brocktail, but no one's there. You're on your own, mate. You got the kill. Job's a good one.
Main thing with this circle right now, as you can see it as well, I mean, of course, it's the first circle. Pretty much all of it is on land too. There's so much to play around. It's a really, really tough one to come through. And with everyone trying to take center control, you really need to make those maneuvers around the edges, shoot at the hard shift, well, pretty much in any direction. That's what I'm looking forward to see. We're 4 games into it. You have to have your wits about you. Furax, Nate thrown toward him. Still alive, though. We need a home, though. They're not afraid to take a fight here. Seems like they're going to aggress on it.
Furax, he's got his teammates coming to his rescue, but is it going to be quick enough? Another nade coming out here from Lipsin. More shots coming in from the side towards him as well. He's avoiding the grenades to a point, but then he slowly creeps into it. And now Seekorg, they're just going to leave him. They don't want to fight this. They don't want to try and hold on to it. It's just not worth it.
Already lost one player before, and look at the nades thrown off the side of the tree. Furax is like, you know what, guys, you got me. Just finish it already.
Riddle were trying to steal it away as well.
Why not? Why not? If you're Shinnok player, you better go for those kills. Those points will be the difference maker. And the end of the circle does shift south. This is going to be interesting. You see where not, well, pretty much where Wildcats and No Tag Team are sitting right now. There was the center previously. So for the guys to the north, you better make those rotations around. But the thing is, Los Leones is on one side, Picado is on the other. Where do you enter this circle from if you're on the edge right now?
Yeah, this is for Avangar. If I'm them, I'm going into the blue again and popping back out.
Yeah, look at it. Like, you're like, nope, we're not doing this. We're just continuing miles away. And honestly, I mean, it's circle 2 still. I mean, well, circle 2 just fell, right? So you can spend your time right now in the blue. You can do these things if you have the meds already. Do it if it means that you get a better rotation off. I mean, right now Zoekt Een Naam are crashing straight through the middle. This could be them going out early. It's a really, really dangerous rotation they're going through right now, and it's not something we've seen them do a lot.
Vasquez spinning out as well. So many shots coming out towards them. Forze also trying to get in the mix and escape a little bit here. We need a home not far away from being in front of them, and everyone's just spinning and sliding everywhere because it's just shots coming out at all the vehicles as they try to make this insane rotation down, and it literally is a cluster of all 16 teams, bar 3 that are currently rotating around the side.
And the thing is, the bottom half of the map is completely, bottom half of the circle, I should say, is completely uninhabited. Avangar, they're making that wide rotation. Powerful is as well. I love to see these plays. It goes to show the knowledge and awareness these guys have of how the other teams rotate around, the knowledge they have of what these guys have been doing in the previous games, and just kind of the whole meta understanding of how teams maneuver around according to different circles depending on where they are on the map. Really, really great rotations coming out now, and honestly, if it can keep you alive, it can keep you out of a pin situation like you see Zoekt Een Naam right now. 1 nade, could be a big fatality coming in for Zoekt Een Naam. See Click is trying to line them up too.
Yeah, he's waiting for the opportunity to strike into it as Clib will take the first initial shots. They do need to be careful of Forze, though, who are wanting to engage in this at the same time. And Clib has got a good eye on it. He's looking for it. Couldn't land the first shot going off there. But more nades will now also go out from his teammates towards Zen. They are truly just kind of tucked away in their own little crater here.
Zoekt Een Naam is really fortunate, technically. I mean, it's kind of a two-way thing, but Zoekt Een Naam is really fortunate that Forze is on the other side here. Because if they hadn't been, then Riddle could have been within nade distance easily. But then again, if they hadn't been, then they could also have pushed out. So it kind of goes both ways. But they're in one hell of a tough position. I said it early, with them making that center rotation there, really tough. Now Circle does close on in. It's just about 40 seconds out. Futbolist, they're running into the circle. That's interesting. And now the nades are within distance. Jord gets the first one on toward T-Bone.
Surprisingly, they only got 1 knock, so obviously Zen spread themselves out a little bit further.
You have to, right?
Well, they have to, but it didn't look like they were going to. They were very clumped together.
Yeah, true.
K23 got a little shooting squad going on here. And Seekorg trying to make their further rotation after losing one of the players early on.
In before this one hard shifts into Los Leones. That would be...
Avangar be loving life if that's the case.
Yeah, for sure, but everyone else wouldn't.
Avangar are still in the blue. They're slowly rotating their way in, and they're taking their time with it because they know how difficult this shift has been so far.
Actually goes up north, completely excludes Los Leones too. So the center point where we see we need a home right now, you have them 2-2 split right now. Lipson and I believe Smasher on the northern side, and then you have Rita and Polderog on the south. They're sitting around the center point, and that is a huge, huge crater. We talked about these endings before. We had them in Group B last week as well. Center endings that are downhill in a valley in a crater. It just forces these fights to escalate so much earlier in the game. And look at this already. There are few areas to play from. And for these teams trying to make their way in from the east that tried to go all the way in the south before, there's not a lot of room for them to get in there.
Higgy trying to get some well-placed shots off here. You can see exactly where we need home trying to run to. But is it quite some distance? Snoopy's hopped out as well. He was traveling alongside the powerful team. They're going to run straight into OK Bro, though. And Norkus, he's actually out of vehicles, but OK Bro hasn't spotted him out. He's focused on the cars, and rightly so. Ghost pops out to try and give some return fire. Does manage to land a couple of shots, but OK Bro will have no problem for backing away from that one.
Interested to see how this next circle shifts. Surprised to me that we still got 58 people alive. This circle is going to be very, very open, pretty much no matter where it goes. The east is a big open field. The center is a crater. West, we still have Picardo in the mix technically, and if you go north, it's also open hillsides.
Futbolist, though. Mockingjay again.
Off angles once more.
Powerful. They rotated in. They were just in front of Avangar. Now they've gone all the way in, and they've just found themselves surrounded and completely pinned down here.
There's just no room for them to enter. As I said before, I mean, the guys that were rotating south previously, they were on the eastern side, and now as it's shifted back up north, for the guys in Avangar and for Powerful, as wise as those rotations were before, if you want to get in here, you got to commit and go all the way around.
Riddle are being careful now. They're not going to extend into those grenades. They're keeping their wits about them on where some of these other players may be.
Yeah, it's as if Zoekt Een Naam and Riddle has kind of said, you know, we're going to stall this one for a sec, and then we're going to take out Force, and then we can deal with each other afterwards.
It's like, let's get them, then we can come back to this one.
Yeah, Norki is down. Morpheus gets finished off too, so they run from one team straight into another. I believe it's just Ghost Star left remaining on his feet now. It's going to be an easy one for Powerful.
Oh, wow. That was just, again, everyone shooting at Force the moment they begin to move.
Right now, for Northern Lights team, they're sitting pretty well, split, and they cannot risk losing players on this one.
Okay, bro, huge nade, very well timed. He's actually got the health advantage in this against Ghost Star, who's just going to back away, get the first aid on, and it's exactly what he needs to do, but has he got his teammates close?
Yeah, they're making their way on up now, and they have to buy time. You cannot, it's again, they know there's one player alive. You cannot lose a player here.
No.
Marking goes down. Turrican secures the finish off there, but again, look at the position for Zoekt Een Naam. Their vehicles probably don't have them available anymore. They have to make a move on in, but not only that, they have to go towards Riddle. This is going to be a tough break. I like the way that Riddle are split right now. 2 guys within nade distance, 2 guys to pinpoint where those nades have to be thrown.
Powerful find themselves going down in 16th.
Yeah, that's a tough break for them. Didn't have the greatest of days today. Hopefully, we'll see something more from them tomorrow.
Now, Avangar have had the circle just shift away and away and away from them. They've gone all the way down to the south now, and they're like, great, it's gone back up north.
Yeah.
And they're just going to have to be fighting maybe earlier than what they would normally want to here.
This one might become a hard shift too far for them, even though it doesn't really hard shift that hard. It still goes over the other side of the road, and it's going to be really tricky for them to do anything off of it. O'Connell down to low HP, falls back down, but he has We Need a Home up and around here too. He's all by himself. His teammates are nowhere near him.
Yeah, the interesting split coming out here from No Tag team. They've had a good day so far, and they really would not want him going down as Riddle going on to try and eliminate Zen. 2 players left alive. T-Bone's taking damage from elsewhere. Clib's trying to push up on it. Hjort's just being smoked out so he can try and stay alive in it. Clib will find Ival, so it's T-Bone all alone to stand up against them, but it's not going to work out. They're going out in 15th place, and Riddle, they finally get it done. They spent all that time dealing with Zen and Forze, and they get the big win.
Zoekt Een Naam just did not get a whole lot from them trying to rotate center earlier in the game. BCGG goes down now. Okay, bro, trying to finish him off with a Molotov thrown towards his face. That should be a painful way to go down. Northern Lights, though, still got multiple wall players to work with or deal with, because they have a huge open field on the western side. You can see, okay, bro, he's trying to figure, is this where I want to go, or do we go all the way around the northern side? I feel like we have to swoop around, and I would say that's a smarter play as well. Okay, bro, keeping his wits about him. Making sure he's having a look at where anyone else may try and come from. BCGG still just crawling away. Where's my kill?
Okay, bro's like, come on. Survival point. We definitely want this one.
There you go.
There.
That's the finish off in the end. Force, 1 player remaining. As I was going to say, it's going to be 0 players remaining. Gone down and out. Fuse taking casualties now as well as they try to make their way on forward. I believe Sneaky is going to be... No, it's still a risk coming in. So 3 guys up and alive. But now K23 is starting to get pushed up on here. They were holding the control of Picado for the longest of time, but seems like Seekorg managed to push it on towards them. Sunseek gets himself a kill, and I have not seen Seekorg get kills today. So finally, a bit of a break code for them.
Still 2 of them up though, and they've got K23 nearby. Just White will go down, so that's going to leave Greg to try and fight onto this. Now, he's a very capable player, but this could be a little bit too much for him to handle.
Yeah. Also, I love that it happened off screen for you guys, but if you're watching the map stream, We Need a Home, they committed to one side. Didn't want to keep a split on each side of the crater any longer, so they committed all the guys up to the northern side of the crater. Really liked the rotation. They had all the info that they needed in order to make a safe passage, and they got their way over here. Spiro just lost his Mirado. He's rolling back down the hills, and that's going to be him rotating on foot for the rest of the game.
Not what you want to do when it comes to Miramar.
Yeah, you're going to triple, quadruple, and penta-tap those handbrakes.
Hold on to it. Don't let it escape you. Now, No Tag, right? We said about them being split up. O'Connell managed to stay alive throughout all of this, but they're still keeping this 2-1 split, which, considering how well they've done today, I'd much rather them be together at this point.
Sneaky Slayer is more like the Elephant Slayer right now. He's running around, allowing for his opponents to hear where he is, but they do manage to get themselves the first knock on towards Lips, and they do have Seekorg on the side, though, and Sneaky has to be ever so careful. But there it goes down too, and that's going to be them getting themselves to double finish-offs.
And they've only got 1 more player there from We Need a Home. Oh, sorry, 2 more players, Smash and Rita, to work their way in. Rita a little bit further away, Smash close by, but he's instantly going to back away and just get himself inside the circle. He does not want to stay here for too long.
With Maxis or as an M24? Same old, same old.
Surprise, surprise.
Bjorn taken down. That's Gamerlegion trying to full-on commit to the push on forward. They had to cross that road eventually, and Bjorn gets taken down mid-rotation. That's unfortunate. But they do have a spot inside the circle now that they can play from. Only thing for them is that they're going to be helped from behind. Multiple teams are starting to take these fights now. As the circle does go down towards the crater, we know that these edge teams have very little room to maneuver, and all these teams are forced into scuffles now.
Istanbul Wildcats once again. It's not been a good day for them. They've not been able to hold on. They go down in 13th, and Riddle, they could be the next ones being eliminated if they're not careful. Out in the open, shots coming out towards them. You see Avangar here in a very nice spot to push up on there. Maybe catching some of these teams out by surprise. You've got Northern Lights and Insidegames there.
Gotta give it to LXG as well. That's gonna be their 8th kill coming in. Mikhailovic could still get rest on up here. Both Sinsen and Clip got finished off. Sneaky throws the smoke on up. Spyro is there, or Spiro is there to get the help in as well. 8 kills for LXG. They already have themselves one more top placement today. Really, really, really good break for these guys. They had a tough time on Miramar last week, or Wrangel last week, sorry about that.
So many nades, but not as many knocks as we would normally see. Perfectis gets one off to finish Sendix, but now we're going to look at Northern Lights try and push onto this. Avangar coming from the other side, and they've got the cover on their side as well now, which will help them push into this. Pixel and Zampeak, they're sat there basically waiting to see who's going to strike first.
Yeah, blue nade tracers all over the place, accompanied by the Avangar team trying to shoot in from the side there. Only one player, I believe, got knocked off of all of that utility being used. And now Avangar, at least they got themselves the barn and a spot in the circle. But where can they go from here? And also, you got to give it to an O-Tag team still keeping 4 guys alive after all of that.
Greg, that's on his own. Trying to duck and dive a bit here. Takes a nice amount of shots, but he's not able to get it done. The circle comes in, and he's like, no, not yet. It's not ready. I've got time. We're seeing Pixel trying to hold on here, but Northern Lights, they're standing strong, but the teammate comes in to save the day. He's able to do it. Northern Lights go down in 10th, and Zampeak, he comes in to literally save the day.
Triple kill. I like the crossfire angle there. Unfortunately, Avangar, they were on the side there to take a part of it. So despite themselves getting a win, they do manage to get kills off that. Zampeak gets himself a triple. That was a full-on committed push into one little room there. They just overaggroed to get that 1 kill on a flush without really not caring, but worrying about where other potential players were. Maybe a bit too hard of a commitment to push that one room in the house.
Solid timing for Avangar as well. Waiting for it all to go down. Time to strike, and they get the job done.
They do that time and time again. That's where they excel.
And Seekorg got themselves within the top 8. We need a home, find themselves getting eliminated here.
Seekorg finally getting something going their direction. It is just 2 players up though, and make that 0-7 place is going to be where they're going to be finishing off. And Gamerlegion now, despite only being 3 guys alive, have a decent spot on the southern side of the circle. And should no tag team that we just saw finish off LXG manage to make their way around the northern side where they have the info that it's clear rather than try and push into the pit, that could leave Gamerlegion with a lot of room to play from.
6th place though, and over 8 kills for LXG. They'll be very happy with that. As Futbolist now going to try and challenge Avangar. Gluttony, nice work.
Look at the peaks coming in from him
crouch poke, hitting the shots, managing to land it. Snoopy under pressure as well. Avangar actually having to back away from a fight for a little bit.
Gluttony's just throwing bullets at their face, saying, "You're not coming this way, guys. We know who you are. Stay the hell away from us. Can you just fight all the other guys, please?"
He sat there with like a holy cross going, "Stay back, Bubba, stay back.
Demons, go away." Yeah, exactly. Gluttony and Gens are really trying to stay put. And honestly, I mean, you talked about how they got themselves a 2nd and a 3rd place, or 4th place, I believe, today, right? This is yet again a game inside of top 5. Really good performance coming in from Futbolist today.
If this is what their Miramar ends up being like tomorrow, because for me, today's games are one thing, but looking at what happens tomorrow after the prep's been done, and people have looked at things, that's when I really start to get a feel for it. So if they can pull it off again tomorrow, then I'm going to be very impressed. Then I'm going to start hyping them up on a big level, because that's such a huge turnaround from what they were able to do on a Wrangel.
And that's the thing with PUBG, especially when you play as many games as we do here. You just cannot rely on having that one good day, one good performance. You need to come back and do it time and time again. And that goes to show the importance of doing your prep work properly.
Okay, Gamerlegion's still in it. Makan not managing to hit these shots just yet. He's tapping away, and Octave does eventually go down, but Besiktas we finished off in 5th. That's mainly from the no-tag team.
Not sure exactly how many kills Besiktas got to go with that. They were center somewhat early on without really being in a position to take proper fights. Makan now pushing on forward. Does have the level 3 gear. Sophie's all by himself. Not sure what he'll be able to pull up from here.
He needs another team to engage in this if he wants to hang on. He is completely pinned behind the hay. And Octave's trying to get close to him to hope there could be a chance of a res to turn this into a 2v3. And actually some shots do come off now towards the Gamerlegion players. It will distract them for a little bit here. As Futbolist now get a knock onto O'Connell. No tag. under a little bit of pressure here.
Every team is getting third-partied some way or another. And this third-party coming in right there on towards Gamerlegion just allowed for Snoopy to rest back on up and knock it. Now Snoopy does get spotted out, Makan, with the MK14. Such a scary weapon. Doesn't matter the distance. It can do it on all sides. And Gamerlegion, 3 guys alive, just 5 kills so far, but they got themselves a top 3 and a chance to win this one.
No Tag have heard what's going on, though. They've allowed O'Connell to go down, and now they want to get onto Gamerlegion. But Genzo, he's able to actually come in there as well and do the damage. Jupes's going to be knocked by Makan, and that now means that No Tag have 1 player up.
And at this point, honestly, Gamerlegion have to have some sort of info as to where the remaining players are. They've heard all the commotion up north. They know there's 1 more player and give it out on the western side. You see Hamster, he's sitting and holding it. But Fex and Makan, they're falling back. They're sort of, I don't know if they're baiting out Hamster, just leaving him up there to maybe get a bit of a surprise angle. But they need to play this one together. They know they have the numbers. 3 opponents left, and they've already killed 2 guys on 1 team, so they have to know that it's 2 teams remaining.
If Hamster goes down, that's the best situation here for Futbolist.
Yeah, but
if Give It can't be the one that kind of distracts any of these teams too much.
The thing is at this point as well with the nade mid that we're in, you just cannot sit 3 guys on top of each other. You need to split it out somehow. And right now, as you can see, they're focusing on the southern side. They want to make sure that they have the entire valley to work around and take control of it. I like this play, actually. It's a good play. They're leaving Hamster on the top side. You just play for info. Don't get spotted. Don't do anything. Don't have people shoot at you. We will take control of the south. Once we have this, we can spread out and take the entire edge, and then we can sort of pin on forward and swarm the last remaining players. Because we all know where it's going to end now. It's the last circle. It's going to go dead center. I like the split. Hamster just cannot go aggressive here. He cannot go and try and overdo anything. Now Fex is coming back here to help him out. They're leaving Makan back down there.
I like that because that keeps off anything that Give It might try and do if he wants to push in.
They sent 1 extra man down to clear it with him. Now it's clear. Now they can send the guy back to the other over towards Hamster. I like the play. This is the type of Gamerlegion I've been missing. Like really, really smart, coordinated plays, maneuvering your troops around. Sure, they have some more breathing room right now, but this is the type of Gamerlegion I've been missing in previous games. And sure, it's been early game, it's been chaotic, but I'm glad to see them get things going in the late game. Now they just have to close it out.
We just haven't seen enough of it across the last couple of phases here for PUBG Europe Contenders. Futbolist, though, they're looking to really have just an absolute stellar style of a game. And I'm not talking about the team. I'm talking about the ability of this Futbolist lineup. Starting to show themselves up here of being a team that can fight for that top spot.
I just realized before that it actually wasn't the last circle. There's 1 more to go, and that's what I said before. Center being crater, it's going to force these fights to happen earlier, and that's why these few players remaining have so much room to maneuver around, and nobody's moving, nobody's shooting, everybody's saying, can we just get to third party? Can the other 2 teams just start fighting first?
You got to be so scared if you'll Give It now. It's like, it doesn't matter what way I turn. There's probably going to be a team getting closer to me. I've just got to keep my ears open.
The value of nades, though, at this point, I don't know where that nade was thrown or why it was thrown. I think it was one of the Gamerlegion players that threw it. But I mean, to me, you gotta, I don't know. Those nades are extremely valuable.
Oh no, Give It. Don't stand up now. No, not yet.
Also, if they engage on no tag first, what can Futbolist do here? Because Genzo is all the way down in the bottom. He has very little info. He's trying to kind of clear that side. They're doing the exact same thing, Gamerlegion and Futbol. It's just on each their side of the map.
Yeah.
Both clearing their rages. They don't want to have teams pushing up towards them. But, I mean, of course, with Gamerlegion being 3 guys alive, they're just daring that much more. Genzo and Glutony, they're playing it very, very passively right now. They could push up to try and take a more aggressive angle, but they just don't want to over-aggress on anything. Now 10 seconds to go. Circle's going to start going on the dot, and Fex is already making his way in here to the div. He has 1 nade, Genzo.
Oh.
Smokes thrown by Give It.
His position now is 100% going to be known, but he's going to provide that cover that he wants to play off of. Question is, will Gamerlegion take him down before he can even start to move forward here? Futbolists working their way up. They've got the more central position, but they're not over the ridgeline just yet.
That 1 placement point. That's what 2 of these teams are playing for right now. The difference in Give It that every single 1 tick you take of blue damage could be you not getting that blue. We've seen it so many times where it's 9 HP, it's 80.
Oh, he's just
are you
dying
to blue?
Oh, Give It. Didn't want to give it at all. He just wanted to give up.
He had a line of smokes. Why throw the smokes if you're not going to move on them?
He's got a new name. It's going to be Give Up now. That's exactly what he did. And now Futbolists are down into the 2 versus 3. They've been quiet going into this, but now the engagements will start to happen. The smokes are down, and it's about who's going to be able to strike who first. Who's going to get that potential first knock-in. A good split coming out from Gamerlegion means that one nade will not disrupt what they're trying to do.
I'm still confused by what just happened, but yeah, I agree. They have to really play this one smart. 2v3, we know that there's still 3 gear on Gamerlegion. Gamerlegion, this is your game to win, but even Futbolist, we've seen them sure they're down in the bottom. The leaderboard right now, but they can apply damage, and Genso gets the first knock.
Oh, brilliant work from Genso. Still applying so much more damage. Close range getting it done. Can he do this? Futbolist in the 2 versus 3. Could they be pulling this off? Hamster's the only one left. There's a bit of smoke covering, and the shots come out. And Futbolist have had an amazing day, and they finish it off in style. 7 kills and the win out of nowhere.